Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nady, and today we'll be testing out the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Skin Tint. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away, because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my little chocolate dipped spoons, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world you're having a spiffy day so far. I myself am doing great. I'm just getting back into town. I was out for a couple weeks. I did catch a little bit of sun. I'm noticing in my monitor, I look hella splotchy. I did prime my face with my Nimia skincare, and it's hardcore shiny, and I think the lights are just playing with it weird. But hopefully today's product will somewhat even out my skin tone. This is definitely a let me spend my money so you don't have to moment. I had a bit of in-store credit, otherwise I probably wouldn't have gotten this, but I do want to start doing like luxury high-end reviews where it literally is me spending my money so you don't have to, because honestly, I would probably never ever recommend, I think like a $65 skin tint. Hold on, let me look up the deets on this, baby. Yes, $65. Okay, so I'm on the Ulta website where I'm pretty sure I ordered this from. There really aren't that many shades to choose from. It does go fairly light and it does go pretty deep, giggity. But when it comes to these tinted moisturizer kind of products, they tend to be so sheer that a few shades work for a lot of people. But 65 doll hairs, holy moly. It does have really good reviews though. I think the lowest is 3 stars and they say little to no coverage, but even the 5-star reviews say the same thing. Everyone says they did expect at least some kind of coverage, but this has absolutely nothing. Yet they still gave it 5 stars, so I don't know why people would be okay paying $65 for that. But you never know, maybe it'll transform my skin into something amazing. They say this is a light to medium coverage foundation with a gel texture and pigmented micro droplets that create a radiant, healthy looking glow. So they say this is light to medium coverage, yet all the reviews say that this has no coverage, so I'm confused. They're also bragging that this is 75% water, which that's not a brag, especially if I'm paying $65. That means that only $16 worth of this is like actual product other than water? They also say that there was an evaluation done with this product of 22 women. I mean, that's great and all, but 22 people? Like, that's nothing. Why the fuck even bother mentioning it? If it was like 220 or 2200, that would be better, but 22? Regardless, they do say this will give you up to 8 hours of hydration, which is very nice if you're a dry bitch like me. So maybe this would be perfect underneath maybe a fuller coverage foundation, but again, $65. But for directions, they say dispense the foundation on the back of your hand, use the included brush, oh, it comes with a brush, to blend the micro droplets, then dab all over the face or on key areas. What? Wait, so you blend it out with a brush and then blend it more? Or maybe you blend it all over your face and then to build it up, you can tap it on certain sections for a little bit more coverage. I think that's what they mean. I don't know. Maybe I'm having a dumb moment. It's probably that. But I got the shade medium light. It has beautiful packaging, typical of Chanel. Very simplistic, but luxe. And here is the inside. I kind of thought it was gonna be glass, but it's just plastic. I feel like for $65, you should get something a little bit higher, and then this. Also, that looks very weird. It reminds me of, fuck, what's the cereal? Grape nuts. That's what it reminds me of. Oh my gosh, do y'all eat those? Do they even make that anymore? There she is. It just looks like a bunch of sand in a bottle. It's very interesting, quite cool looking. I like it. And then I guess we get a little brush in here. Ooh. Oh my. Y'all ever go on a date and then when they take their pants off, this is what you get? Yep, that is totally what happened with this. All right, it's cute. It seems like it'd be great for either stippling or blending around. It's quite soft, but also a little bit prickly at the same time. But she is still absolutely very, very cute. Look at the Coco Chanel logo on the bottom. So without further ado, let's just dive right into this. I am so excited. Like, I have seriously been into skin tints lately. I don't normally wear much of any makeup out in public, maybe a little bit of concealer, but I've been loving the Morphe skin drops, and I wore these for 2 weeks straight while traveling, and I love them more and more each time I use them. So those have turned me into a skin tint monster. I don't know that I will end up keeping this, or at least repurchasing it, just because of the price tag, but again, if it does some magical shit to my skin, maybe I would consider getting it again. I don't know, that's what worries me most about doing a series like this where I test expensive stuff. I'm like scared that I'm gonna love it. Like, I can't afford to love it, damn it. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's dive dive into this. Also, I feel so David Rose-esque from Schitt's Creek in the sweater. I love it. I'm also burning up tits in here. It is hot, but worth it for the fashion. I'm gonna dispense this on the palm of my hand because the backs of my hands always break out whenever I drink alcohol. We got a nasty little crusty bit right there that probably wouldn't bode too well with this. So let's go ahead and take it right here. Come on, baby. Oh, wow, that came out fast. She does not make you work for the money. It instantly looks like separated curdled milk. Like when you add vinegar to milk and it just gets all gross. But hopefully it looks a little bit better on the skin. I'm gonna scoop it up with a brush and here we go. I guess let's start on this side. My skin is so shiny from that Nimia. I forgot how reflective it is. Holy God. Okay, let's take this right here. Ooh, so it does have a little bit of tint to it, or at least it did at first, but the moment I spread it around, it just disappeared. Okay, so that was one pump. I know this is totally unsanitary and frowned upon, but let me just take a little bit right there so that you can actually see how it looks on the skin. I have no clue if you'll be able to see all the little particles that are in there, and that's kind of what mixes with the serum or whatever the fuck this is. Well, water probably. And it creates a slight tint, so let me just blend this out and see if we can get a little bit of coverage here and there. We'll just take this on this half of my face. Right there's my little face demon, so we'll try to cover that up. I kind of feel like this would probably be better applied with my hands, but because it is so high in water, I'm scared that my hands would just soak the product up. But I will be honest, with those two pumps, my skin does look a little bit better, like slightly more even, a teeny tiny bit healthier, and I still have that nice glow from the Nimia without looking too overly greasy. But here, if I'm looking straight at the camera, can you really tell which side I have anything on? Like, this is 2 pumps of the product. This is nothing. $65. Huh. And what's more, almost 5 stars. Even bigger, huh? I don't know what to do. Should I apply a little bit more to this side so that we can still compare? Let's just do it. So I'm gonna put a half a pump right up there, and then I'll put another half a pump right down here. So in total, we have 3 pumps on this side of my face. I guess if we like the coverage that this gives, that'll be 6 pumps in total for the entire face, which to me, for $65 is a little bit excessive. And I wouldn't really say that we've hit light coverage yet. I can't even imagine how much I'd have to apply to get medium coverage. But now that there are 3 pumps on this half of my face, I guess it does look a little bit more even, a bit more healthy, and it doesn't look as though there's makeup or any kind of pigment sitting on my skin. It's just more even. I like the way this looks. I will admit though, this does look exactly like how my Morphe looks with just a few drops. I think this one does have a bit more hydration to it, so we'll see how it dries down. But yeah, what do you think? Can you tell that big of a difference between the side that does have it and the side that doesn't have it? I guess looking in my monitor, I can't see any kind of a difference, and looking in my mirror, I can't see that big of a difference either. Like, if I went outside, I don't think anybody passing would be able to recognize that there's something on this half of my face and nothing on this half. But it does just add a little bit of something, like a slight blur or evening. I kind of like it, but I don't love it enough to justify this price. Like, you are totally paying for the name with this, which I don't always mind because sometimes these designer products are actually very, very good. And it's not that this isn't good, but it is not worth that price tag. So let's go ahead and apply this to the other side. I'm gonna start with 1 pump right there and then 1 pump up here. We can just blend her around. See, like, the moment I blend it out, I do see a little bit of pigment, but then when I keep blending, it just kind of wants to disappear. Although, I do also know that when you use brushes like this, the first time that you use them, they do tend to soak up an ass ton of product. And now that there's product loaded in these bristles and I'm spreading the other side out, I think I got just as much coverage with these 2 pumps as I did with this side with 3 pumps. I kind of wonder if this product would be better applied with a silicone sponge that soaks up nothing, but I do think that those 2 pumps on this half of my face really does look great. Again, not much happened. It's just like a light veil of something that looks good. You know what? I am just too damn curious. I'm gonna take 1 last pump, which is very, very tiny. Like, you don't get much in a pump, and I'm gonna rub it around on my hand. Oh my gosh, it is so watery. And let's just take it over here and I'm gonna rub it in like a moisturizer. Ooh, Okay, that actually looks much better. Oh gosh, this is not the best method. But with the fingers, I do feel like you get a little bit more coverage. It does kind of weird things where I can see the redness in my skin when I use my fingers because it's like melting the other few layers. But when I use my hands, I actually do get decent coverage and it looks much more natural on the skin. It looks like my skin, whereas this side, comparing the two sides, I guess it does look as though there's something sitting atop my skin. When I didn't have both sides to compare, I did think this side was gorgeous. However, I really like this side. So maybe that's just the trick to get decent coverage with this. Use your hands. As we all know, hands and fingers are some of the best tools, not just with makeup. So what do we think? Do we like it? Yes? No? I do think it's a really, really pretty, but I'm still not feeling that price. I would say though, if you're okay with just like 1 or 2 pumps total, this would probably last you a really, really long time. But I don't know that the coverage that you'd get from 2 pumps would even justify any kind of price tag. Like it might be so minimal that it's like, why even bother? But I will admit this feels great on my skin. It just feels like my skin, just like a moisturizer. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes to dry down because it's still a little bit tacky. All right, it's been a few minutes. We are good and dried down. Really the only place that it doesn't look that great is on my nose. It just looks really cakey and it's like breaking apart. And I guess in my beard it is kind of built up, but I kind of expect that with a lot of foundation, so I'm not gonna take points away. But on my nose, let's talk about that for a second. I don't know if you can see it, but I just did one of those like nose peels like yesterday. I've done scrubs, so my nose shouldn't need any kind of exfoliation, but really it just looks terrible and it's dried into place. It's not like it's wiping off. It just looks like that. Like, can you see the redness poking through? It's almost like it wants to stick on certain areas, but it won't stick on other areas. It just is really, really nasty. Yes? No? Ew? But everywhere else on my face, I think it's really, really pretty. So I don't know, maybe my nose is a little bit fucked up from the sun that I got, but also if anybody else is in sun, this might happen to you. So I guess that's something to take into consideration. I think just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna apply a little tiny bit of Laura Mercier translucent setting powder to just this half of my face. I don't know if this will do anything. It may end up looking the exact same. Well, actually, I think this side does look better. It's just a little bit more matte. I don't know if you can see the difference in shine, but I'm gonna go ahead and wear this for the entire day. I'm gonna be working around the house and unpacking, and so I'm gonna put this shit to the test. And I will see you in a few hours when I do my little check-in. Oh, hello, little check-in time. So the first thing that I'm noticing is once I'm in like natural real light, it kind of has a little bit of flashback. So I went and checked the ingredient list and it says it may contain titanium dioxide, which is often used for like SPF, but usually always causes flashback. So I'm not in love with that aspect of it. However, my skin does look nice and radiant and glowing. I probably should have applied a little bit of Squee under my eyes, but that's no biggie. I mean, doesn't this look very pretty? I can kind of see a little bit of a difference though between this side and this side. I think this is the side that I powdered and it's almost like it took away a little bit of the coverage, but this side does feel much better, whereas this side still feels a little bit tacky. Like if I go and hug my cat, a bunch of her fur is gonna stick to my face, whereas this side, it just feels like my skin. So I'm not sure what to do about that. I don't know if a setting spray would maybe work, or if you can even see what I'm talking about. Maybe it looks the same to you. But so far, is this a product that I would recommend? I'm pretty sure we all knew that I was gonna say fuck no. If it had a little bit more coverage, maybe I'd be on board, but if you want a little tiny bit of coverage, then I don't know, maybe you'd like this. But I really do think there's a lot of other products that are way cheaper that do look just as good, if not better. However, we're here for the review. I'm still gonna try it out. So far, I'm not disappointed with the actual product itself. Very, very pretty. And I do just want to show you how she looks on my nose. It just is kind of gross looking. I don't even think this is like a super accurate representation. So I'll give it a few more hours, wait for the sun to go down, and we can see how it looks at the very end of the day. And we are back. It is the end of my day, and normally I'm like, I'm ready to take this shit off. However, I completely forgot about this on my skin. This has been an absolute pleasure to wear. Although, really, I'm not wearing much of anything, but it just feels so nice on my skin. However, this side that was powdered does feel much better, and I think it looks prettier than the side that wasn't powdered. Even though it's been all fucking day, this side is still really tacky. It's not wiping off or anything. It just is a little bit sticky. Whereas this side, it just looks and feels like my skin. I do think that this side doesn't quite have as much coverage as this side. And so I'm trying to figure out, would I rather have a sticky face and a little bit more coverage, or a smooth face with a little bit less coverage? Or would I ever use this product again? And I think that because I have this product, I will continue using it, but is it something that I'll repurchase? No. I do think my skin looks excellent. It doesn't look like I'm wearing anything. I do just look a little bit more even, which I think is the point in this type of product. However, they claim that it's light to medium coverage. I do not think that you could get medium coverage with it still looking decent. I think that very light coverage is the best that you're gonna get, and I don't know that 65 bucks is worth that, especially when you can get cheaper items that do just as fine. I do think this looks a little bit better than my Morphe drops, but not a fuck ton better. The biggest difference that I saw was throughout the day, this sometimes wants to wipe off, especially on my nose where I wear a mask. And with the Chanel, at least on the powdered side, it felt like nothing wiped off, and it looks the exact same. So if you're looking for something that does have longevity and doesn't have much coverage and price really isn't an issue, then yeah, I do recommend it. But again, I'm gonna say there's way cheaper shit that you can buy that looks the exact same. You're totally paying for the name, you're paying for how this looks in the bottle, and to me that's not important enough to justify $65. I do want to continue using this for maybe a week or so. I'll give you an update, my next best and worst to Boutete. But so far, do I like it? Yes, I think it's really, really pretty. It did sit very oddly on my nose, so I'm kind of concerned with that. But on the rest of my face, it was really pretty. So I do understand the reviewers who are saying that they expected to hate it, but they ended up loving it. I don't love it, but I do like it, and I understand why it has higher reviews. So price aside, I think it's great, but with the price, like, get something else. So now that we are at the end of the day, what do you think? Is this a product that you think is worth 65 bucks? Like, is this enough coverage to justify that? We have been reviewing a lot of skin tints lately, and I was like gobsmacked at paying, I think, 36 or 38 for the Jaclyn one. And I do think there's something about this that does look better than the Jaclyn, than the Morphe, and better than other skin tints that I've tried. But again, that price. So yeah, you'll have to let me know. What do you think? Yes? No? Shit, it does look pretty. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe combined with a good concealer and like contour and everything, this would be perfect. We are definitely gonna have to do a little bit more testing with this one. But my loves, that is all for today. Thank you so much for being here. I thoroughly love having you. And if you're ever bored and you want a little bit more Nady in your life, head over to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. You get videos a day early, you get Patreon only content, and best part in my opinion, it is cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!